Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel, and thank you to everyone who congratulated me on passing the 20,000 subscriber mark. We're on our way to 25,000 subscribers. I guess that'll be the next milestone. That would be 1/4 of the way to 100,000 subscribers, and with quality coin videos and help from you guys in the coin community, I'm sure we can make it there. Best of luck to all your channels as well. And if you're one of the 90% of the people that watch these videos that aren't subscribed, feel free to subscribe and help me get there. If you want to get notifications every time these videos are published, feel free to hit that bell button. I've been trying to stick to a pretty regular schedule, and I do 2 a night. I release one the next afternoon around noontime, and then I release one generally around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So if you don't want to hit that bell and just want to check out the channel, then you're welcome to do that as well. And special thanks to the following channels that congratulated me. If you're into coin collecting, feel free to check out these guys' channels as well. Synth Frost, Bobby Slater, Franklin Wagner, Armando Martinez, Canadian King of Coins, Joe Bunn, Kingly Dunn, Frank Morsacco, Coin Intelligence, Coin Hawk Seahawk, Jerry Holdridge, and Corey W. Thank you all for leaving a comment. Very nice words from you guys. I greatly appreciate that. So let's get into today's video. Today's video is going to be about transitional era coins, specifically the 1983 copper cent. Now, if you want to know about the transitional era coins, you kind of have to know what the transition dates were. So we're going to take you on a little bit of a history lesson and go back all the way and hit upon the key milestones, which were the transitions for the 1 cent coin in the United States. Now, previous to 1856, they used to have what's known as the large cent coins. So those large cent coins were the flowing hair chain, the flowing hair wreath, the liberty capped, the draped bust, the classic head, the coronet, and the braided hair. And then they switched over to the small cent. The small cent was made from 1856 to 1858. That was the flying eagle cent. Then they made the Indian head cent, which you can still find in circulation. Very hard to find, but you might come across one of those. Those were made from 1859 to 1909. And then the Lincoln cent, made from 1909 to present day. Now there's a few transitions amongst that Lincoln cent. The wheat cent was made from 1909 to 1958. Then the Lincoln Memorial design was used from 59 to 2008. Then the bicentennial 4 reverse design was used in 2009. Now what we see today is the Lincoln Union Shield, which started in 2010 and was made until present day. Now drilling down even further into that Lincoln Memorial that was made from 59 until 2008, there was actually a transition year in that in which they switched up the metal content. So the mint was looking to cut cost a little. So the coin that they were using from 1909 to 1982 was the copper coin. It was 95% copper, 5% zinc. So in 1982, they switched over to a coin that was only 2.5% copper and 97.5% zinc. So in 1982, midway through 1982 and then 1983 going on, all of your coins are going to be 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper. So what that translates to in reality is a coin that has a mostly, almost entirely zinc core with a little bit of copper coating on the outside. The problem with that is, as you can see with some of these coins, the copper coating on the outside kind of wears off, and then you've got this zinc coin that's just kind of corroding and falling apart. The copper coin's much more sturdy than the zinc-based coins, but the mint needed to cut costs, which you can understand, so they took the copper out of them. Now, the modern coin has a melt value of less than 1 cent, which is great for the mint because it costs them less money. The 1909 to 1982 coin, that's 95% copper, that has a current melt value of 2 cents. So one of the odder things that you can see on eBay is people selling buckets of 1 cent coins that were made prior to 1982 that are mostly copper. People buy them apparently. If they're selling them, people must be buying them, but they pay a premium for them, but it is less than the melt value. So they pay somewhere in between 1 cent and 2 cent for all of them, thinking that if it's allowed for the copper pennies to be melted down, that then they could profit. But I don't believe it's currently legal for you to melt coins down and then sell them for a profit. I believe you can melt them down if you're doing a science experiment, but you can't melt them down and then sell them. So we're finally getting to kind of the error coin, which the title of this video is about. We're kind of running long as far as time, but we're going to get into the details. So the real key here is, you guys know, we've talked about in other videos, the 1943 copper transition error. So when the steel penny was being made in 1943, some of them were accidentally made with that copper penny. So it's a similar error to that, except for 1983 pennies. So by 1983, all of the coins should have been that mostly zinc combination that weighs 2.5 grams. However, there were some copper planchets that snuck in there that weigh 3.11 grams. So if you've got a 1983 penny that weighs 3.11 grams, you could be in great luck. Sorry you had to wait till 6 minutes to hear that. If you're watching still at this point, you probably already knew that. Might just be along for the commentary. All right, so how you determine that is you obviously put them on a scale. You can buy scales that go down to the 1/10 of a gram on Amazon. They're relatively affordable. I'm not going to use one in today's video because it doesn't really make for great video, I don't think, just me putting a coin on the scale. But I made other videos where I actually put the coin in the scale, and then we tested out that these coins here that I have dated 1983 are all actually 2.5 grams, which is what they should be. Now, this transition error, I think it's something that you and I should be looking out for more. That's just based on the fact that the reverse of them is going to be the Lincoln Memorial. So people are going to be less likely to spot these transition errors of the 1983 copper penny. That's just because people hoard the wheat pennies, so they've already taken a lot of them out of circulation. You can still pluck them out of coin rolls, which is where I've got all the coins in this set right here. I actually went through some coin rolls to prepare for this video, and I went through about 5 coin rolls and got 2 wheat pennies, so that's, I guess, kind of average. It's usually about 1 every 4 or so, so I guess 2 out of 5, slightly better than average. But people aren't really looking for these 1983 copper pennies, so just keep your eye out for that. Also look out for the other transition years that I mentioned. So the 1943 pennies should be all steel as well. That transition error is going to be worth, I've read that some of those have sold for $200,000. The 1983 copper pennies, those have sold at auctions, graded MS 62, 63, or high AU gradings. Those have sold for $16,000 to $20,000. So there's definitely some value in these. What I always recommend is, if you've got a coin that you think could be graded AU 55, set that aside, and then you can always come back and check it once you get more information, because coin collectors, we're constantly getting more information, and then if we've got a nice graded coin, we can go back and check. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Best of luck coin collecting. Have a great day and take care. Enjoy.